On Thursday night, New Yorkers received an emergency message from the National Weather Service warning of flash flood conditions until approximately 7 p.m. But many passengers didn't need a phone message to see the rampage around them. Due to the fact that a huge mass of water had nowhere to go, water poured into numerous streets and at metro stations. Water problems were also not only underground. Some motorway drivers in the Bronx required emergency assistance when the water got too deep on one side of the road. Local leaders criticized infrastructure shortcomings. Brad Lander said that the city's infrastructure is not ready for the climate crisis. And the worst is probably yet to come as Tropical Storm Elsa approaches. The remnants of Tropical Storm Elsa will hit New Jersey and New York early Friday morning. The National Weather Service estimates rainfall between 1 and 3 inches, in addition to the 1.5 inches that fell on Thursday. On Thursday afternoon, several dust storms were recorded in Arizona, as a result of which visibility dropped to almost zero, and gusts of wind reached speeds of 60 miles per hour. Phoenix, Tucson and Casa Grande were some of the largest cities affected by dust storms. Such dust storms occur when the front of a thunderstorm cell pushes air downward and forward. This kicks up dust into the air, which reduces visibility. They are also sometimes called haboob. Since these are some of the first storms of the season, the land is very dry and thunderstorm winds can easily cause dust storms. Limited visibility affected motorway traffic from Tucson to Phoenix, and many motorists pulled to the side of the road until conditions improved. The interstate highway was closed in both directions. It was just one of several roads in the region that were closed due to the dusty wind. The wind also caused some property damage, and there were reports of fallen trees in the area. There were no reports of casualties. Additional dust storms are possible in Arizona over the weekend.
我操，看他妈！哎呦哎呦！我操，太吓人了！这钉子全烂了。我操！你看你唱的，你看你，哎呀哎呀！
那上面没人，我靠呀，有人可不得了。
你给我马大喊，他就来没捉到地上。你看，你看。
哦，我操！
On June 30th, a violent storm hit Jinan, Shandong Province, China, with a wind force of 10. Its speed reached 40 meters per second and set a local record. For a time it was dark all over Jinan. Day became night, the wind roared, and a black cloud came over the city. It was like the apocalypse. People could not stand. Some were lying on the ground, others were holding onto trees so that they would not be blown away by the wind. The exterior walls of the apartment buildings were partially damaged, the windows were smashed in the apartments, and countless roofs and billboards were blown away by the wind. The recently built temporary conference room has been overturned. The whole city began to resemble chaos. To ensure the safety of passenger trains, the Jinan Railway Administration has taken steps to reduce speed on several sections of the Beijing-Shanghai.
щелканье. Охереть, прикинь.
A storm hit Moscow with a hurricane wind, thunderstorm and downpour. You see shocking footage, which captures the consequences of the elements. As a result of a thunderstorm downpour, several branches of the Moscow metro were paralyzed due to flooding. According to the information, at the time of the closure of the stations, all passengers got off the trains. There were no trains with people left in the tunnels. As local authorities later reported, about 70% of the monthly rainfall fell on Moscow. The roads were flooded, and car traffic was practically paralyzed. At the same time, the hurricane wind broke trees, in some cases directly on power lines. In Shchelkovo, during a thunderstorm, lightning hit the transformer box at the substation. A fire started. According to eyewitnesses, the hurricane demolished building structures because On Tuesday evening, a violent storm struck again over Landshut in Bavaria. It was raining so hard that water masses flooded the city center. The footage shows that even cars cannot drive through the water. A passing car even causes a small wave. At 18 o'clock the sky darkened and a strong wind blew. Then a torrential rain fell, flooding the streets and gardens. All roads were obstructed by mud and flooding, and aid workers had to remove road signs and broken trees that were blown away by the wind. Due to hurricane damage, rail traffic on the Munich-Landshut route was also severely affected. All damage from the storm has not yet been reported, but emergency numbers have been overwhelmed.